former WWE star Matt Stryker. Welcome to JCW.
Thank you.
So what kind of brings you from a large market like WWE, and then you come to JCW, which I would imagine has to be a humongous adjustment for you. But what do you feel is like the biggest difference between the two?
Well, to the first question is, what brings me here? JCW helped me out, 15 years ago when I was just kind of starting along and stuff. So to have the opportunity to come back and give back and say thank you, that's one reason. Second is I like the grassroots movement that's going on in wrestling right now. I think that there's a grassroots movement throughout independent wrestling to forge an alternative. WWE is great and the WWE style is great, but there are other styles and other people out there that deserve to be seen, deserve an opportunity to wrestle. So those are the reasons that I come. As far as the biggest adjustment goes, it's easier. The intimacy lends itself to the emotional connection. To learn how to, and simple things like this happen where someone just walks in and it's organic and it's real, but to learn how to connect with 80,000 people, that's one thing. To learn how to connect with 80 people, that's entirely different. So I feel closer to the fan, and I think that it brings the fan more into my weird passion for wrestling because I'm insane. And that's, if you want to call it an adjustment, I call it a pleasure.
Okay.
Okay.
You've had the pleasure of, I'm going to say pleasure just because I enjoy watching them, to work with guys like Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose, guys like that who kind of started at this level, worked their way up, came from ROH and leagues like that, and eventually got to WWE. So do you feel now that you're watching the future when you're here?
I believe that anyone I meet can become anything they want. This guy could become the next greatest ring announcer ever if he wants to be. So I always assume that everyone I meet is somehow going to repeat themselves in my life as someone great. Except this guy. He's got no chance in the world. So, I always say I left WWE with a nice big backpack of knowledge and nonsense. And then when I meet someone, I go, you know what? Backpack's on this side. This might help you, actually. Take that. And then I see them down the road 3 years later. Hey, man, that thing...
So you have no problem teaching and being a coach?
Why should I? Kept manna will stink. It's in the Bible. It means if you keep your own things to yourself, eventually it'll infest you.
Well, you got a lot of people, though. We interviewed Al Snow a couple weeks ago.
Awesome.
And, he said that he won't say anything unless someone asks him. Some people are like that. They don't feel like they want to interfere in, the coaching of someone.
And you have to respect that.
Right.
And at the same time, there also is a due diligence for a younger wrestler or an inexperienced wrestler to get up the courage to approach someone. Some people will stand there and go, free stuff. But some of the good stuff, you kind of gotta, and if you never ask and you never hunt. So I think maybe that's what Al may be trying to instill in this next crowd. Have some balls.
No, that makes sense. Now you wrestled for WWE and then you got involved in the backstage announcing, broadcasting type. Did you had to tone it down a little bit? The adrenaline that when you're wrestling in the ring to just standing next to somebody like me, standing next to you with a microphone.
Well, there's absolutely no adrenaline right now. No, it's just you have to channel your. You can come on, man. It's all real and happening right now. damage365. You have to learn to channel your passion. The meter is still going and it's percolating, right, and all this stuff is in here. It's just a question of does it come out this way or does it come out this way?
Okay.
It's still got to come out.
Okay.
Kept manna will stink.
Last question. Who is your biggest influence from any level in this industry?
There's so many. Wrestling-wise, I always give my kudos to William Regal, Arn Anderson, Tommy Dreamer, Johnny Rods, Steve Corino. I'm going to leave names out. I wrestled a guy last week up in Nova Scotia named J.P. Sims that I'm able to learn something from. And then I'm in there wrestling Kurt Angle, and I'm able to take some stuff too. So you got to be smart and see what you can pick.
It's hard not to learn something from Kurt Angle.
Like, cutting people off when they're doing an interview. Like, that's something that,
I learned that from you, actually.
Nice. Touche. Good job.
Well, is there anything you want to promo that upcoming for yourself that you'd like to let the fans know about?
My Twitter is at Matt_Striker_, and my email's on there too if you want to reach out. Just support wrestling. You know, these guys are out there doing it because they love it, and you're there watching it because you chose to watch it. So support it because you never know who the next person is going to make it.
All right. I appreciate your time.
Mega Powers handshake has to be done. Yeah, I'm freaking out about it.
Considering that Macho Man was my favorite wrestler of all time, I appreciate that. Yeah. Must be the beard. Thank you, Matt.
See you, bye.